action after being caught on the wrong side of the law.
1,278 individuals flagged for disciplinary action by the SIU in the presidency tracking system that we have reported on over the last few years.
The SIU told the committee that resignations while facing disciplinary continues to be a problem after recording 55 officials who left their positions before facing consequences. Babalo Ndenze, Eyewitness News.
We move to the courts where a woman accused of operating a global sexual exploitation network with her boyfriend is determined to be released on bail. Megan Moodley is challenging the court's decision to deny her bail application. Moodley and her partner Darren Wilkin were back in the Randburg Magistrates Court for the continuation of their case today. The couple faces multiple charges including the production and distribution of child sexual abuse material, money laundering among others. Ntokozo Khumalo reports.
Earlier this year, the Randburg Magistrate Court had denied the bail application filed by both accused. And during proceedings today, it was revealed that the second accused, Moodley, is challenging that decision. Prosecutor Izal LaRue stated that with investigations completed, some processes need to be put on hold until the bail issues are complete.
However, it would be nonsensical for us to proceed to serve the accused and transfer them prior to bail issues being dealt with. For that reason, Your Worship, I have arranged a date with the defence for the 22nd of October back to this court for purposes of finalisation of the bail-related issues.
The matter has been postponed to the 22nd of October. Ntokozo Khumalo, Eyewitness News, Randburg.
Community members from the Wild Coast have come out in their numbers at the Constitutional Court to demonstrate against the seismic exploration of oil and gas by giant Shell. Environmental groups and the community are at the Apex Court for leave to appeal a Supreme Court judgment in favour of Shell. In its judgment last year, the appeal court allowed the oil giant to bring an application for seismic exploration in the Wild Coast in the Eastern Cape. But environmental groups, including Natural Justice and Greenpeace, are challenging this ruling, saying the seismic blasting is detrimental to marine life and the environment. Greenpeace oil and gas campaigner Shirley Odaya says Shell has failed to consider the cultural and spiritual rights of communities on the Wild Coast.
They did not consider communities in terms of public participation. They went and did consultation with the chiefs and the monarchs, and that's not actually public consultation. It's not community consultation because they didn't consider the whole community when doing consultation.
Jacobus van Wyk, a fisher, says big business does not care about the well-being of the environment and the communities.
You must have to make a decision, and a strongly decision. The future of our children, the future of our land, the future of our marine system is in our hands. If you can protect it now, tomorrow we will be very ashamed.
In an effort to curb excessive overtime claims, the Tshwane municipality is considering paying its VIP protection officers a fixed 35,000 rand a month allowance. A report recently tabled to council shows this allowance will replace overtime pay, meaning all VIP officers will receive this monthly pay regardless of whether they work overtime, are sick or on leave. VIP protection officers fall under the Tshwane Metro Police Department and are charged with the protection of the mayor, speaker and MMC among other high-profile people in the city. Thabiso Goba has the details.
The Auditor General has for a number of years raised flags over the abuse of Tshwane's overtime system. As a result, in March this year, the city manager issued a circular saying overtime should be limited to 40 hours a month per employee. However, the report presented to council says this is difficult for VIP protection officers due to the nature of their jobs. On average, a single VIP officer works more than 100 hours of overtime a month. Last year, out of the 21.3 million rand in overtime paid out to all TMPD officers, VIP officers accounted for 64% of the total amount. The proposed 35,000 rand a month allowance will be tabled at the local labour forum for consultation prior to being implemented. Thabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
Taxi body Santaco in the Western Cape says it's optimistic that ongoing talks with government over mounting violence and instability in the sector will lead to a lasting solution. This as the closure of 10 routes and specified lanes at some taxi ranks starts tomorrow for a period of 30 days due to ongoing violence within the industry. The affected areas are Khayelitsha, Makaza, Mfuleni, Somerset West, Nomzamo and Luandle, where several people, including commuters, have been killed or wounded, with one of the latest shootings claiming the life of a Qatar official at the Nyanga rank last week. Mobility MEC Isaac Selegu announced the closures on Friday, assuring inconvenienced commuters that alternative plans are in place to cushion the blow. Golden Arrow bus services and Metro Rail trains will be providing additional capacity to help residents get to work and school. Santaco's Matsikidi Rebecca Pala says they received this decision with both sadness and understanding.
Sadness because of the long-lasting impact it will have on the livelihoods of taxi operators and their families. At the same time, we understand that the measure was taken in the interest of protecting lives amid mounting violence as well as instability.
Selegu will be meeting with the Qatar and Codeta Taxi Associations this afternoon. Meanwhile, the City of Cape Town Safety and Security Directorate says it will establish a joint operations centre to monitor taxi routes in the affected areas. Gold's trading at $3,693.15 an ounce. The rand's at 17.35 to the dollar, at 23.66 to the pound, at 20.50 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $67.26 a barrel.
While travelling through the Joburg CBD, you can expect heavy delays on the M1 northbound between the Crown Interchange and Empire. Also heading towards Germiston, that's in Bedford-View, bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N3 southbound between Linksfield Road and the Van Buren off-ramp. Also coming from Edenvale heading into Bedford-View, slow-moving traffic, R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Gilulis Interchange.
A look at your weather. It's clear skies in Gauteng this afternoon. Temperatures are peaking at highs between 28 and 33 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour. The presidency says more than 1,000 public servants are facing disciplinary action following investigations by the Special Investigating Unit for a range of transgressions.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Relebogile Mabotja.
Live, streaming countrywide
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Minutes after 1 o'clock. Welcome to 7:02 Afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja. Pleasure to be in your company on this Tuesday, the 16th of September. I did miss you guys yesterday because there is so much going on in this world. I don't even know where to begin, but as usual, we stay tuned to EWN on all of those developing stories that are happening in the news at the moment. Coming up in our show today, I want to find out from all of you around major changes in your appearance. If you're going to make a drastic change in your physical appearance, do you have to tell your spouse? Like, is it important to tell your spouse? Because a woman shares a story of a drastic change in her appearance that she made, and the husband is not happy. This can apply both ways, of course, and I want to hear from both of you that do you think it is respectful and just considerate to go and tell your partner if you're going to make a drastic change to your appearance? Our tech feature, we're going to talk about outdated school technology that puts children's data at risk. We'll be joined by Rian van der Berg, who is Deputy CEO of the Federation of Governing Bodies of South Africa, that's FedSAS. The second hour of the show, we continue in our series edition on midlife renewal. And today we talk about reinventing love. I want to hear from all of you, be it marriage renewals, dating and intimacy during your midlife. We'll be joined by speaker, author and facilitator of marriage counseling, Jabu Zwane. We wrap up with our car feature. We're going to be talking about Essential Car Basics course. We'll be joined by Paige Lindenberg, championship winning racing driver and a key figure in South Africa's automotive industry, along with Peter Lindenberg, who is South African motorsport legend, for that conversation. So we've got a jam-packed, awesome show that has been put together for you. Get in touch with us. Give us a call, 011 883 0702. SMS us, 31702. Tweet at Relebogile M, at Radio 702, using the hashtag 702 Afternoons and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
702 Afternoons
With Relebogile Mabotja.
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
I want to find out from all of you what your thoughts are around drastic physical appearances, and if it is considerate for you to have that conversation with your partner first. As in, where do the rules begin of, his body, his choice, my body, my choice, her body, her choice. And, hey, I'm also in a relationship. Let me take into consideration. So let's say drastic weight gain. Let's say choosing as a woman who has had this long hair for a long time to just shave her head one day and cut it short. Maybe it is suddenly having tons of tattoos on your body, like tons. And I say drastic because whatever the package was that the person accepted of you when you got together is no longer that package. And is this something that should be a discussion with your partner? Now, I recall Boris Kojo, who is an actor married to a well-known actress whose name has gone out my head. They are a beautiful, beautiful couple. And he once said that if his wife gains weight, like gains a lot of weight, he would leave her. And people thought, what? How could you say such a thing? And he said, well, look, she must leave me too if I let go of myself and my body changes drastically. Because if I'm going to be your spouse, I owe it to you to offer you the best of what is out there in the market, or else I'm not giving you a reason to not go to the market. I don't know if I 100% agree, but I get what it is that he's saying. Then there's the woman who shared her story to say she decided one day that after having long hair for years and years, that she was going to cut her hair short. So when I say short, I mean short. And let me maybe be a bit more detailed and descriptive, because this might play a role into preferences. This specific woman speaking was a white woman, and her hair went super short. I don't know what it's not a pixie cut. It's shorter than that. I don't know what it would be referred to. But if, let's say, I went short, it's not cheeskop. What's the one after cheeskop? Brush cut. Is it brush cut? So that level of very short hair. Now she goes to her husband. It's a buzz cut. That's the word, a buzz cut. Now this woman decides to cut her hair without telling her husband or even discussing it with him. And the reaction was not amazing. He was so mad at her that she cut her hair without having a conversation with him, that he refused to speak to her without her wearing a wig on. Now people are divided. Some say, I can understand where he's coming from, because there are so many situations where we hear of a man that has always had this rich, full beard, deciding to shave that beard and mustache, coming home, and the woman is upset because she doesn't recognize that man. So if you want to get mad at the man for not being happy that his wife cut her hair, then why aren't you getting mad at the woman for her being mad that the husband shaved his beard off? And I don't know if these are things that require consultation. I almost feel like, well, you could just go and just shave your head or dye your hair, maybe with tattoos. I don't know. But maybe there's something I'm missing, because I wouldn't imagine somebody needing permission to do something or have a drastic change to their appearance, unless that's something you guys had discussed. And even then, I don't even see it as permission. I see it as maybe informing. And in the case specifically of this woman who said she didn't tell her husband, I already was like, guys, but if you didn't tell your husband, it's probably because you knew he wasn't going to be happy. Now, should that mean that because you know he's not going to be happy, that you shouldn't have cut your hair? Is that what it should mean? That if a woman wants to cut her hair off, that she needs to have a discussion with her husband? Or if your husband decides to suddenly get tattoos all over his face, I mean, how drastic does drastic go? What are the circumstances for you that you'd be so upset that you'd not speak to this person anymore? It could be piercings all over their face. It could be so many things, not just a haircut. That is just one example. And maybe also share with us any kind of thing that you have done that you didn't share with your partner in regards to changing your appearance. Maybe it was changing hair. Maybe, I don't know what it is. I don't know. There are some men who complain and say, please don't ever lose too much weight. Like, don't lose weight beyond a certain point. Some men say that. Others say, please don't gain weight beyond a certain point. The same as women who will have their preferences. The question really is, should your partner have a say? Should you have to inform your partner or spouse before you make drastic physical changes? 011 8830702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
Fire! That's how I feel about the news cycle at the moment. I feel like there's an invisible Pentecostal church preacher in the news going, fire! What do you mean Kenny Kunene is the mayoral candidate for Johannesburg? President Ramaphosa, in his capacity as the ANC president, says, yeah, actually the DA does do a better job running its municipalities. Say it with me. Fire!
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
At the heart of global conversations shaping the future, Africa's voice matters more than ever. As Africa's largest bank by assets and lead sponsor of the B20 Summit, Standard Bank Group is proud to spotlight the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Through informed dialogue and powerful partnerships, Standard Bank is driving sustainable growth where it matters most. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Your workday calls for more performance, more doing the impossible, more challenge accepted. Your weekends demand more excitement, more detours, more limitless living. And the new GWM P300 LS is where it all comes together. Bring it on in the new P300 LS with a 2.4 turbo diesel and 12.3-inch touchscreen from only $5,999 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM, go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank and authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
What do partners of the Gates Foundation do when facing the world's toughest challenges? They keep going. From discovering a plastic drape that helps detect excessive postpartum bleeding faster, to developing better bed nets to kill malaria-carrying mosquitoes, to researching an RSV vaccine that could save hundreds of thousands of children. For every problem, there are people who prove that progress is possible. The Gates Foundation, partners of human potential. Learn more at gatesfoundation.org/keep going.
The Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra presents its Symphonic Jazz Festival. Enjoy iconic South African jazz with full orchestra, big band, and rhythm section led by Marcus Wyatt. Featuring a stellar lineup of artists. Linda Auditorium on 24 September, 7:30 p.m. Tickets at Quicket.
702 Afternoons
with Relebogile Mabotja.
20 minutes after 1 o'clock, let's talk about those drastic changes you make to your physical appearance while in a relationship. Is there an obligation for you to communicate it to your partner or your spouse? Or is it do as you do your own thing, your body, your choice? And it can be something as simple as weight loss, weight gain. But it could also be something more drastic, like tons of tattoos all over the face. Do you guys know that a person can even tattoo their eyeballs? Are you aware? It could be getting multiple piercings. So a person that you've become accustomed to looking a certain way, going and making drastic changes after this woman says, I cut my hair into a buzz cut. This man now will not speak to me if I'm not wearing a wig. 011 883 0702 in the WhatsApp line 072 7021 702. On the WhatsApp line, one says he's got a nerve. He doesn't own her. We are not men's playthings, is what one says. Afternoon, Relebogile. Communicating your intentions seldom help. Told my partner I'm removing one of my front teeth and didn't get favorable feedback. Indications are that I'll be single going forward. Just one tooth. Relationships are hard, Shem Guningi. Anonymous, because she may be listening. Well, here's my question. Are you removing your front tooth? Because I never considered that one. Like, is that just for funsies? Is that for aesthetics? Because, yeah, like, why are you removing your front teeth? One of your front teeth. Why are you taking it out? Abel, would it qualify as drastic appearance to have a gold tooth or to remove the two front teeth and there's nothing wrong with them? Does that qualify as drastic? Because I never considered the one about teeth. Now I'm like, I get also teeth. Why are you taking your teeth out? Hi, Relebogile. No, I do not inform my partner on any drastic body changes. I had another tattoo done last week and my partner only saw it this week. I must say he was taken aback about it, especially because I also had fixed a piercing that closed during pregnancy and I felt I wanted it back. I've cut my hair many times before without informing him, which was not a problem. However, I shed the pregnancy weight, which he loved. But for me, it's my comfort first before considering anybody's approval where my body is concerned. Here are some of your voice notes on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Relebogile and the listeners. Hope you guys are good. You know what? One thing that I'll leave you for, I don't care if you got married yesterday or a week before. You see those people that cut their tongue in two parts? Like you cut your tongue in two parts? No, I'll leave you, definitely. And the piercing all over the face, like understand like few space, like few spots or something like that. The entire face, ow, no.
Ma'am, I even forgot about that one. So what she's describing is when a person gets their tongue cut in half, like longitudinally, so that it looks like a snake's tongue. Oh, I'm sorry, I also would leave. What do you mean? Oh, well, can you imagine feeling like there are two tongues in your mouth at the same time?
Hi, Relebogile. Olani here from Davao. It does happen, Relebogile. It does happen. I think those are just expectations when you in a partnership with someone that you either married to or you dating, whatever form of partnership, that at least prepare me for the kind of person that you're changing to be. And I think that's where the disappointment comes when I just rock up and I find my wife on a SLM cut. So it happened to me, and I was slightly disappointed because if she had engaged me, I was going to, just highlight my disapproval of that. And then if she goes and does it, at least I expect it, unlike unexpected. Thank you. Looking forward to a great show.
Hi, Relebogile. For me, my man told me that I shouldn't lose too much weight because he's attracted to me as I am. So whenever I'm trying to lose weight, I lose weight to a place of my own comfort. But it's never past what maybe even my bone structure would never allow me to be that super thin. But for him, if he comes home with a gold tooth, I will have issues. I hate gold tooth. I hate it, and I think I'll have issues, serious issues.
Guys, Why are you guys coming up with things I never thought about? The tooth, the gold tooth. Some of these things I did not consider. Okay, on the WhatsApp line, I dated a woman who left a guy because he put... No, I don't think I can say this. Okay, let me say it in a way that is... He put beads on his male area. Now, if you are familiar with what that is, I think they put them under the skin. That's what they do. But I'm also like, there are people you meet who are piercing people. There are people you meet who are tattoo people. So you might not be surprised if suddenly the person you are with who's got tattoos gets more tattoos. Or if the person you're with had a few piercings, they get more piercings. The extreme one is if I met you and you never had anything, jiggy, you have 10 different tattoos or 10 different piercings. And at the same time, we evolve as people. You can change your mind along the way. Maybe you've always wanted to have tattoos, but you couldn't afford them because they're so expensive. Maybe you wanted gold teeth. Hats off to you for keeping your composure about the front tooth scenario. I'm splitting sides with laughter on the public bus and I'm getting some smiles here. I don't even know what to say because why are you taking out healthy teeth? Relebogile, my hubby got a gold tooth without alerting me. Now he doesn't want me to lose weight. But if you see the kind of heavy builded hunk he is, it's unfair. And I hate gold teeth. It gives gangster vibes. Yo, guys. More of your voice notes on 072 702 and 702.
Hi, Relebogile. It's Rudolph here from Alberton. If I pay for my wife's boobs, for a boob job, and she goes and after a few years she wants to have a boob reduction, I want a refund on that.
Haibo, if you pay for your woman's breast enhancement surgery, but she wants to basically take them out or get a reduction, you want a refund. Why don't you say, if I paid for my breast enhancement surgery that I'm making my wife have on her body, because it sounds like it's yours. How? More voice notes.
Hi, Relebogile from Dobsonville. I decided to have a whole makeover, get my skin done and all that. And then in the process, I decided to get my teeth fixed. So I went to the orthodontist to get my bottom teeth fixed because I had braces before growing up. So he said, no, we need to do the whole thing again. And then he says, okay, but I need to remove 2 of your bottom teeth. Which I didn't have a problem because he said eventually the gaps will close. So he removed the teeth. I've got braces, but my partner is not loving my look. And it's only temporary, but yeah, he's not stoked about it. And then also now he's joined the gym and he's starting to bulk up. And I told him that I do not like that wrestler look. If you're going to look like Brock Lesnar, then we are going to have a problem. I will leave you.
Haribo! So some don't like the wrestler look. Others don't like the gangster look. Others don't want the breast reduction look. We continue with your calls, your voice notes, and your messages. What are the drastic physical changes that your partner or spouse could make that would make you leave them? Drastic. I thought when I said, cutting hair, it's a big deal. And you guys brought up now taking out 2 front teeth voluntarily. Adding gold teeth. It's a lot. It's 130. Time for your latest Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon.
Thanks, Relebogile. Good afternoon. 2 water boards have been saved from bankruptcy by the National Treasury, withholding grant funding to municipalities that don't pay their bills. The Water and Sanitation Department, however, says enforcing this approach has resulted in mixed success. At the end of July, municipalities owed water boards over 25 billion rand. The family of Zambian former President Edgar Lungu has sustained another legal blow as the Pretoria High Court has dismissed their leave to appeal application. The family wants to challenge a High Court ruling in the Supreme Court. Last month, the High Court ruled that Lungu's remains must be repatriated back to Zambia for burial. And as National Wills Week gets underway, South Africans are urged to make sure they have a valid one in place. The annual initiative is driven by the Law Society of South Africa and supported by Justice and Constitutional Development Department. According to stats from the Master of the High Court of South Africa, fewer than 15% of South Africans have wills in place when they die. Those are the headlines. This Eyewitness News and more at 2 o'clock or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
In Ekurhuleni at this hour, if you are traveling towards Germiston, leaving the Bedfordview area, there's slow-moving traffic. This is on the N3 southbound between Linksfield Road and Van Buren. Also coming in from Edenvale, heading towards Bedfordview, slow-moving traffic. R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Giluli's interchange. At this stage, if you're traveling through the Joburg CBD, heading towards Parktown, expect some delays. M1 northbound between the Crown interchange and Empire Road. Also, in and out of the Joburg CBD, traffic is a bit sluggish. This is on Main Reef Road approaching Church Street due to faulty traffic lights. Also, traffic lights not working. That's in the Bryanston area at Winnie Mandela Drive and Sloan. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
I'm asking about what's been stolen. Have we not seen corruption under your party, the ANC, over the last 30 years?
I will not stand here in the name of the ANC and defend wrongdoings. Just yesterday, I'm sure me and you read the story of a chap who looted the hospital there. SIU has taken almost assets worth about 3.7 billion. It was on the news yesterday.
Zandile.
No, don't laugh.
No, man, come on. This is ridiculous. Have you read stories about Bekikele and Ket Matlala? Have you read that? Have you read stories about the very same man you're talking about in Tembisa and which politician was in his house meeting Ket Matlala?
Are they members of the ANC?
No, you said these people are normal people in society, and I'm saying politicians, when they loot money, they're going to use their families and normal business people in society.
Clements Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
Spar puts family first. From fresh fruit and veg to bakery treats, warm from the oven, Spar gives you freshness, quality, and care you can trust every day. Spar value-added services make life easier. Send money, buy bus tickets, recharge airtime, even pay your DSTV all in one stop without paying extra. Spar Mobile puts more savings in your family's pocket. Unlock unbeatable deals on data, voice, and SMS, plus earn free data rewards every time you shop. Spar makes it simple. Pick up your Spar Mobile SIM at the customer service desk, pop it in and activate in-store or on WhatsApp, and you're good to go. Keep your number or start fresh. The choice is yours. Spar, the informed choice.
One festival, endless flavor, and 2 unforgettable days of timeless music. The DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, returns on 20 and 21 September at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. On Saturday, the stage erupts with Don Toliver, Questa, and Nkabi Zezwe. Then on Sunday, experience the legendary Lauryn Hill, Wyclef Jean, Lyra, and more. The DSTV Delicious Festival, powered by Lotto Star. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
This is Jade. She'll spend hours comparing almond milk and once made a spreadsheet just for sneakers. But when she found Santam, SA's leading short-term insurer that offers a range of cover options, from vehicle to building and home contents, even she didn't overthink it. The kind of freedom Santam gives you takes some getting used to. Speak to your broker. Santam, this is freedom. Santam is an authorized FSP, a licensed non-life insurer and controlling company for its group companies.
Your voice.
Your life.
Your afternoon radio.
On 702 Afternoons.
With Relebogile Mabotja.
25 minutes to 2 o'clock. We're talking about drastic physical changes when you're in a relationship, a partnership, or a marriage. 011 883 011 702 in the WhatsApp line 072 702 702. Should a person, a partner, be consulted? I want to hear from you. Mpo, in Parkhurst. How's it, Mpo?
How are you?
Good.
When it comes to consulting, we are very physical beings. We like what we see. So if we have standards, it is what it is. It's what brought me to you. So like with me, I was told I need to find the sweet spot. Can't be too big and it can be all gone.
Wait, let's translate. What's mkaba in English? Guys. Pot belly. Is it pot belly?
Yes.
Mkaba in English. So the wife says you cannot lose that pot belly.
Yes, I need to find the sweet spot. It can be too big and it can be all gone.
What's the sweet spot? Is it like her head must be able to rest on your tummy and it's a pillow?
I don't know. All I know is I have it right for the past 10 years and currently I've been told you must gym.
How?
So that means I am passing the sweet spot, so I have started hitting the gym.
You know what I think the
choice.
measure is? I would guess that the measure is that she's going to measure by if her hands can touch when she holds you.
Okay.
I think that's the sweet spot. Is that the sweet spot? You must test later. If the hands are not touching, you know.
So my one is natural hair. I was very specific. I was like, I like your hair as it is. Please leave it like that.
Wait, as in like afro?
Yes. If you want to cut it shorter, we can play around with that, make it shorter, but never all gone. And if you're going to wear a wig, not for too long, a wig tops.
What about the braids?
No.
You don't want braids?
I love her natural hair. It's beautiful.
Are you the one who's maintaining it?
All the time. I don't mind. I wash it if I have to.
Okay.
If I don't have money for salon, I'll wash it myself and dry it.
Yo, Mpo, you better come back with feedback as to what is the sweet spot of Mkaba size, where it can't become a 6-pack. It must remain 1-pack. But how big is that 1-pack? Thank you so much. Tepa from Tembisa. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks, and you?
I'm good. I just want to comment for ke tlhakana le Relebogile ke size 30 and then Relebogile a ke tsebe go ba too comfortable or bjang maneneng ke for tlomba ke size my babo and then that's a problem.
Wait, so you're saying if I made you an O size 30 and then now you are getting bigger?
Yes, now go size my babo, so size 40. I tell her that's too much. At least it's too young. Because I get a size 8.
Yes.
So once it's on my jump, if I have to go to another gym, to maintain that body, I don't mind.
But you have one challenge that's working against you, Tsepo. Are you expecting size 13 to remain that way after bearing children? Oh, even after bearing children? Even after bearing children?
We have two. Yes,
okay.
We have two.
So you do know that can change with menopause, with hormones, with all of these other things?
No.
You're not ready.
Honestly, I'm not ready for that.
Tsepo, you know what? You can't say you're not ready for that, because in the same way that you want her to remain size 30, she also wants you to remain at the same level of fitness and stamina. So are you going to be able to maintain it for the next 10, 20, 30 years?
In the next coming 10 years, I'll be 75 because it's so fat.
So what must happen? Because now you want her to be 75 and be a size 30.
No, I've been wearing size 30 for the past 20 years. I don't gain weight, I don't lose weight. And I chow a lot.
You see? So you admit that you are lucky. Now you want the poor woman Or you'll say, I'll take her to gym knowing when you can eat whatever. Yo, guys, it's real. Your voice notes on 072 702 on 702.
Good afternoon, Relebogile and your team. Relebogile, about the changes that we experience, especially the weight changes that one experiences in relationships. Let me tell you, I met my wife more than 22 years ago. She was slender then, beautiful, slender. Today she has gained weight. Let me tell you, it's the more I love her. I always tell myself that, you know what, she's like wine. She must short right in front of my eyes. She is as beautiful as ever. Simangaliso wa Khanyi in Tembisa.
Hi, Relebogile. Olani here from Davao. It does happen, Relebogile. It does happen. I think those are just expectations when you in a partnership with someone that you either married to or you dating, whatever form of partnership, that at least prepare me for the kind of person that you're changing to be. And I think that's where the disappointment comes, when I just rock up and I find my wife on a FKLM card. So it happened to me, and I was slightly disappointed because if she had engaged me, I was going to, just highlight my disapproval of that. And then if she goes and does it, at least I expect it, unlike unexpected. Thank you. Looking forward to a great show.
I think in these situations, you do need to have a discussion with your partner, not because you're asking for permission, but to try and understand their opposition or the reason for their opposition to a certain look. You don't know if it's simply them being shallow. Is it something that's embarrassing for them? Could it be a turn-off that will completely change your whole relationship? Is it based in trauma? The only way you're going to find that out is to talk about it, especially if it's something as permanent as, say, surgery or a tattoo. This is Tili.
Hi, really. This one of beats, yeah. Some people do it traditionally. It's traditionally when you come from circumcising, they just put you beats there. That's one I've heard of about it.
Hi, Relebogile. Gold tooth is a no-no. Gold tooth is a no-no. I don't know. I can't stand them. Sorry.
Me Relebogile. You come in the house, you come with the tattoos like now you're a vampire, or come with the gold teeth now it's like I'm staying with the gangster in my house. No ways.
Guys, your stereotypes of the tattoo kitty vampire, gold tooth gangster, like how did we get here? MJ says, I get so happy when my woman gains weight. It means I'm supporting her well. I once read this one response of a husband to his wife who was not comfortable with her weight. His response was simply that if she was not comfortable with herself, then he as her husband had failed her in the role that he's required to play as her soulmate and a supportive husband. That is from Zeno. Hi, Relebogile and 702 listeners. Tattoos and body piercings make a person look like a gangster or worshipping Satanism. This is from Jindi in Kagiso. Guys, have you not seen tattoos with a cross on them? They are tattoos that are Bible scriptures. They are tattoos that have very specific, meanings. Are we really of the belief that people with tattoos look like Satanism and gold teeth? Gangsterism. When we know there was a time that gold teeth were being pushed on everybody. Relebogile, we are as petty as it sounds. My partner picked up weight because I asked him and he was quite chuffed to share his progress. I did, however, ask him to remove all his gold rings when he went out. He had one gold on 4 of his fingers plus a thick gold chain. No, that looked flashy and gangly. Plus, we're colored near donkey is what they said. Oh my gosh. High level, for whatever reason, my wife decided she was too thin and started bulking up. I was very disappointed because I was so in love with her small structure. She went from being a size 30 to now a size 38. It's affected me, and I was a bit less attracted to her new self and had to work on it. Ooh, maybe that is the conversation. How do you deal as a couple with physical changes in your relationship? I'm glad you're not saying I left, because I think it's okay and normal to be uncomfortable. It's another thing to be like, I'm quitting this relationship. Farai says, Relebogile, undergoing a drastic change, example, plastic surgery, which is obviously pre-planned without informing your spouse, is a definite sign of disregard and disrespect. However, it should not be a deal breaker unless there are underlying issues, because true love should transcend superficial things such as looks. NB, childbirth changes many women's bodies, and no self-respecting man should leave his wife for it. And I mean, I would say that applies both ways. Outside of aesthetics, there are so many things and so many reasons that your physical appearance would need to change. You can get sick, you could get in a car accident, and you would hope that that person who says they love you will stick around and obviously continue to adore you the way that they used to. A last one says, Relebogile, bathing is very important. Smelling nice. Now you start not bathing. I don't know you like that all of a sudden you're scared of water. Look, it's easy to say, if you suddenly stop taking care of yourself, I'm going to lose interest. But as was alluded in the previous voice notice, to ask yourself, what happened that your partner got to that place? Why is it that they stopped taking care of themselves? It could be something bigger. I admire you guys, excuse me, who are expressing their preferences about their wives and partners. My husband of 10 years says nothing whether I gain or lose. I once asked him a direct question of how he likes me to look. He's too wishy-washy. He doesn't know what he likes or not. I'm so fed up of this guy. Excuse me. He never gains weight. No motivation from him. I can ask him today. Everything is fine. Your dishwashing personality who doesn't know what he wants. It doesn't. Hi. That's from Anonymous. Anonymous, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. It sounds to me not like you are frustrated that your partner, in inverted commas, doesn't know what he wants. It sounds like you're just looking for affirmation for who you are and what you look like. That's what it sounds like to me. You want him to say, baby, you are beautiful as you are. And maybe he's not expressive like that, but that is just me. Thank you so much for all your calls, messages, and voice notes.
John Perlman. Weekday afternoons,
3 to 6.
So there's more money being made available, and there seems to be a general acknowledgement, Dr. Phillips, that money has to be spent and maintenance has to move forward. What would stop the city of Joburg from taking that money back again, as they have done, to the tune of 4 billion rand in the past?
Well, that shouldn't be happening. In our view, it's very important that revenues from the sale of water. It's fine if the city wants to add a surcharge to revenues from the sale of water. That revenue is a major source of funding for other activities in the city.
John Perlman.
3 to 6 on 702.
The Standard Bank Joy of Jazz 2025 is diving deep into the heart and art of jazz. This year, the legendary Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra with Wynton Marsalis are making a triumphant return to Johannesburg. Expect an unforgettable lineup with over 60 megastars gracing the stage, including Esperanza Spalding and our very own Sia Makuzeni, Amanda Black, Vusi Mahlasela, and Duduzo Makatini, the Benjamin Jefter Trio, and many more. Buy tickets to this incredible 3-day festival from the 26th to the 28th of September. Tickets are selling fast via Ticketmaster. Take me there.
Calling all golf pros. Hollywood Bets invites you to step onto the green. Tee up, take a swing, and enjoy glorious golf action from electrifying competitions and thrilling live tournaments. Get ready to conquer the fairway and chase epic fortunes. Ready to master the odds and experience your crowning moment? Bet now on all the excitement and prepare to make your hole-in-one shot to sensational success. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008.
Insurance pulls you in. Pineapple pulls you under. insurance. Pineapple insurance. Pineapple. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
702.
Tech feature.
10 minutes to 2 o'clock in our tech feature for today. We talk about outdated school technology that is putting children's data at risk. And we're joined by Rian van der Berg, who is Deputy CEO of the Federation of Governing Bodies of South African Schools, that's FedSAS. Your calls on 011 883 0702 and the WhatsApp line 072 702 and 702. Rian, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello.
Hi, Rian. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Relebogile. It's fun to talk with you. I'm a big fan, and good afternoon to the listeners.
Thank you so much. I want to find out what this outdated school tech is. What is it that is outdated that is putting our children's data at risk?
Yes, maybe just starting out with the landscape, the education landscape is a big sector to manage, and the department deployed something that is known as SASAMS, the South African Schools Administration and Management System, in 2004, and they've been updating it over the years for the schools that did not have resources to acquire their own high-tech options. And over the past few years, the system has not been developed further because Microsoft is not supporting the app that it's based on and built on anymore. And that means that there's potential user error and security breaches or lack of security, and then the system as it stands, I think puts our schools' data at risk. At some point in time, some of the data was copied on flash drives or even CDs, and it's mailed around. Recently, there's a better improved version of uploading it through FTP servers, which is very technical, but trying to use the internet, but there are still some places where that is not available, and with the increased high-tech world we're living in and exposure of data, I think we all need to focus on how to keep our children's data secure.
All right, so maybe let's for a moment touch on our children's data. What is some of that data that we could be or should be concerned about?
Yeah, I think we must put it in the frame of the POPI Act, which states that all information about children are deemed to be sensitive information. But in a school setting or school context, the static information of children, names, second names, addresses, family structure, place or location where they live, and all this static information, as well as that of the parents. In some cases, schools carry the parents' bank details, workplace, family structure, as mentioned. And then there's the specific child information that a school carries in a sense of behavioral marks, the learning journey, attendance, good conduct, bad conduct, discipline issues, working with the curriculum, marks, assessment outcomes. So there's a lot of information about a specific child at a specific school.
Okay, and I'm glad you were clarifying, and we of course know that prior to them being 18 years, that they are considered a child. Now, what can we do in terms of updating that technology to protect all of our children's data?
Yeah, I must say the Department of Education is working very hard on the one side to look at a modernized version of the school administration management system, but it's been taking several years. A tender process ran, I think 2017, 2018, that was cancelled and reversed, and currently they're working with the UNESCO open source system to tailor-make it for South Africa. But in the meantime, and that's probably 5-6 years now, we're sitting in this no man's land of, we all agree that the previous system is not adequate, but the new system is not in place yet. And several schools especially the fortunate fee-paying schools that have resources have started using what is known as third-party systems, various options in the country that are available for schools to manage themselves better, number one, secure the data, number two, and then report on this data, because it's a big sector. The department needs to know what the numbers are so that we can apply the resources in the right places. So there are various options, but it's just taking slow at this point in time.
What can parents do to assist in all of this?
I think the discussion needs to be held at a school level. I think parents are distant from the mechanics at a school, the systems that are in place, and they trust, which is a great thing. Trusting the school with your child means you trust the school with the data, but to participate in the data discussion and ensure that, number one, the school must protect itself at the local school. That's our public school dispensation and the model that we have. Number two, when we transfer data from the school to the department, that the vehicle we use for that is secure. And that is, I think, where the parents can be involved in the discussion at school governing body level. My advice is that most school governing bodies should have a portfolio for IT, like we have the CIO or a CTO in business over the last several years. I think there needs to be an IT information data security focus at school level, and parents need to participate in that discussion.
Sure, there's so much for us to be aware of, and I'm so glad that we're having this conversation, because I think many parents might not have been aware at all with what you're sharing. But as you said that the department is actually working on it. Just in closing, Rian, what are one of the big risks or one of your biggest concerns if children's data is now freely available?
I think that's a very deep hole, and one wants to not really venture in it. But I think that the first area is not just the learner data, but family data. I think we're being spammed and hacked, and bank fraudulent activities are being reported all over the show, and somewhere the data is leaking. I'm not saying it's the department or the school's data, but data in general is proving to be a valuable asset for corruption, fraud, and even the dark web. As far as learner data goes, we're concerned about the security of that, their privacy when they become adults, that no one has shared the data that they didn't want to have shared. The other option or a real big risk is that of identity theft, taking over someone's ID. That's also happening. We've seen that in the sector. We've seen ghost learners, ghost teachers, and relates to very real, not ghost, resource application in some provinces. So data is important. The accuracy, the completion, the validity, the completeness, and the validity of the data is crucial. But I think we need to make sure that our children's data is secure, encrypted, and not open to local or even international fraud.
Rian van der Berg, thank you so much for your time today.
In the last 24 hours, this is what's happened in your world.
The Patriotic Alliance has announced its Deputy President, Kenny Kunene, as the party's mayoral candidate for Johannesburg. This despite Kunene's current suspension, pending an investigation over his suspected ties with alleged crime underworld figure Katiso KT Molefe. Kunene was found in Molefe's Sandton home when police pounced on him to arrest him in connection with the murder of Upa Sifuka, popularly known as DJ Sambodi.
The investigation of the DP will probably be done. Leader Eugene will tell us tomorrow when the investigation will be done. He has done very good work in the city of Joburg, and the DP will be our mayoral candidate for Joburg. We insist on that.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Mzansi, 133 million rand in total guaranteed Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots could change your life. That is right. Play Powerball for a guaranteed 70 million rand and Powerball Plus for a guaranteed 63 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store, online at nationallottery.co.za, on the mobile app, via cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda Pusher Play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Insurance pulls you in. Pineapple
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Spar brings you super savings. Get 750 gram, 780 gram, 850 gram Nola mayonnaise, excluding squeeze bottle, for $38.99. Save R6 with Spar Rewards, or 2-liter Spar full cream or low-fat ultra-pasteurized milk for $32.99 with Spar Rewards. Plus, you could win your share of R6 million in instant cash. Price is valid until 22 September 2025. While stocks last. T's and C's apply. This is EWN.
Good afternoon, I'm Maki Molapo. 2 water boards have been saved from bankruptcy by the National Treasury, withholding grant funding to municipalities that don't pay their bills. The Water and Sanitation Department, however, says enforcing this approach has resulted in mixed success. At the end of July, municipalities owed water boards over 25 billion rand. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
Addressing Parliament's Portfolio Committee today, Deputy Minister of Water and Sanitation, Selo Setlolo, says the Vaal Central and Magalies water boards are now in a better financial position since municipalities have been forced to pay them within 30 days or not receive their quarterly funding from the National Fiscus. This measure has been in place for 3 financial quarters.
This mechanism will remain in place until the most non-compliant municipalities demonstrate consistent payment of their current invoices.
The department's Director General, Sean Phillips, says since December, it's received 35 requests for funding to municipalities to be withheld.
But there's still a lot of progress to be made. It's a mixed picture. Very good progress in some municipalities, not yet sufficient progress in other municipalities.
Phillips says this approach remains a last resort to get non-compliant municipalities to pay their current debt to bulk water suppliers. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
We move to the courts, where the key state witness in the Lusikisiki massacre has told the court that accused number 1 called him and told him to fetch the gunmen who carried out the hit. Accused number 1, Mzuki Sindamase, is cross-examining state witness Luando Abi in the mass murder trial that's currently underway in the Mthatha High Court in Lusikisiki. Ndamase is one of 6 suspects arrested in connection to the murders of 18 relatives who were shot and killed in Ngobozana village last year. Nhlanhla Mabaso is there.
During cross-examination in court, it was revealed that the state witness Luando Abi had shared some details of the Lusikisiki massacre with his wife. He told the court that he made his wife aware that Mzuki Sindamase had called him to pick up the gunmen. Previously, Abi told the court that the gunmen he transported were 4 of the accused, Aphiwe Ndende, Siposoxolo Mayekete, Bonga Yinsa, and Zenande Phaya. The court also learned that the group used traditional medicine in their meat, which they ate and also took a bath with before proceeding to Ngobozana. Trial proceedings are underway. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, Lusikisiki in the Eastern Cape.
Staying in the courts, the family of Zambian former President Edgar Lungu has sustained another legal blow as the Pretoria High Court has dismissed their leave to appeal application. The family wants to challenge a High Court ruling in the Supreme Court. Last month, the High Court ruled that Lungu's remains must be repatriated back to Zambia for burial. But the family has challenged this, saying they want him laid to rest in Johannesburg to avoid the involvement of President Hakainde Hichilema, who was Lungu's political rival. The High Court has now dismissed their leave to appeal, saying there are no reasonable prospects for success. The South African Scholar Transporters Association has called on government to enforce stricter regulations on the scholar transport sector. The call comes after at least 20 learners were seriously injured in a minibus taxi crash in KwaZulu-Natal yesterday morning. The South African Scholar Transporters Association Secretary General Sihle Magubane says their appeals to government have fallen on deaf ears.
We've been looking at this for all this time long, from 2020, and we've been knocking on the door saying to government, this has to stop. Because there are a lot of things that needs to be done to better this sector, transporting sector, scholar transporting sector. But government doesn't want to listen to us.
Magubane says many of the drivers involved in the accidents are not properly licensed and trained.
We try by all means that our members, we train them. We try by all our means. You know, we can't do that on our own without being regulated. Because if had we been regulated, government should meet us halfway.
Government has indicated it will soon announce a collaboration with the Vehicle Testing Association to further regulate the taxi and scholar transport industry. As National Wills Week gets underway, various legal practices are offering free services to citizens this week to have a will prepared. The annual initiative is driven by the Law Society of South Africa and supported by the Justice and Constitutional Development Department in an effort to encourage South Africans to ensure they have a valid one in place. According to stats from the Master of the High Court of South Africa, fewer than 15% of South Africans have wills in place when they die. Director at law firm Kloppers Inc., Ayanda Mboto, says one is never too young to have one in place.
We would like to urge everyone over 20 to have a will so that they can leave a legacy for their children, spouse, parents, or siblings. Without a signed will, your loved ones would be left destitute or to face an expensive court battle.
In the U.S., President Donald Trump is suing the New York Times, accusing it of being biased towards Democrats and being hostile towards the MAGA movement. Taken to his Truth Social platform, Trump says the publication has been allowed to freely smear, lie and defame him for far too long. This move comes just days after he threatened to sue the newspaper after it published articles about alleged notes he had sent to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. He filed the suit in Florida and no further details have been shared. Gold's trading at $3,695.59 an ounce. The rand's at 17.34 to the dollar, at 23.66 to the pound, at 20.48 to the euro. Brent crude oil at $67.68 a barrel.
Heading towards Germiston, there's about an hour delay. This is in the Bedfordview area, N3 southbound between Linksfield and Van Buren due to roadwork. So there's also a heavy delay is expected, about a 30-minute delay driving through Edenvale heading towards Bedfordview, R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Gilulis interchange.
A look at your weather. It's clear skies in Gauteng this afternoon. Temperatures are peaking at highs between 28 and 33 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour: 2 water boards have been saved from bankruptcy by the National Treasury, withholding grant funding to municipalities that don't pay their bills.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Relebogile Mabotja.
Live, streaming countrywide
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Eight minutes after 2 o'clock, the second and final hour of 7:02 afternoons with me, Relebogile Mabotja. And we're going to be taking your calls in this hour as we jump into our series edition on midlife renewals. Episode 3, we're talking about reinventing love. We're talking marriage renewals, dating and intimacy during your midlife. We'll be joined by Jabu Zwani, speaker, author, and a facilitator of marriage counseling as well. Then we wrap up with our car feature, Essential Car Basics course. We'll be joined by Paige Lindenberg, who's championship-winning racing driver and a key figure in South Africa's automotive industry, together with Peter Lindbergh, South African motorsport legend. Your calls on 011 883 0702, SMS us 31702, tweet at Relebogile M at Radio 702 using the hashtag 702 afternoons, and the WhatsApp line 072 702 1702.
702.
Series Edition.
Series edition on midlife renewal, as we're doing this September, which just feels so right and appropriate. Spring is the time for renewal and blossoming. And this is episode 3, where we're talking about reinventing love. Don't worry if you missed episodes 1 and 2. Head over to primemediaplus.com or download the app to catch up on them. And today, reinventing love. What does that look like in this modern time? Those of you that consider yourselves midlife, share with us your questions, your comments, or maybe even your advice of how you are reinventing love in your midlife. Jabu Zwani joins us, friend of the show, speaker, author, and marriage counselor. Jabu, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Good to see you. It's been a while.
It has been a while, but I feel like I see you all the time,
right?
Because I see you on the socials, challenging the people.
Hey, you know, this is what we call for, eh?
Right?
To step into the battlefield with a bit of thinking, yeah.
What are some of the common things that you see? And I'm going to start this backwards before we get into the reinventing part. What are the common things that you see when a person enters midlife stage, particularly in their intimate partner relationship, where things can get stagnant, can get boring? You know, earlier on we were talking about making major changes to your appearance without having a discussion with your partner. And there were certain things that I was thinking to myself, there's nothing drastic. If I say I love this person and I'm with them, that would make me be like, nope, until somebody mentioned the tongue being cut like a snake. I said, you see now. And then the one of removing 2 healthy front teeth just because. I don't know if I'd be okay with that. But we know that things happen in cycles. And sometimes you get a couple who feels like we are just somewhere that is not even plateauing. It's just, what is the word you use to describe it? Maybe share with us what are some of the things that you see every, 5, 10, 15, 20 years where these people need to keep reinventing love. And I remember Will Smith saying something powerful, and maybe I hope nobody takes the message as less because of who the messenger is, considering we know so much about his love life with his marriage to his wife. But he said the trick is not that you're just going to be in love. You are regularly going to fall out of love with each other. The trick is to never fall out of love with each other at the same time. There must always be somebody who is still within. So while the other one's like, oh, this one is boring me, the other one's holding the candle until. And I thought to myself, that makes such simple sense. As long as it doesn't happen at the same time, then you're able to carry this thing afloat. But please tell me what you observe in this midlife a stage of an individual in relation to their relationship.
I mean, such an important topic, actually, because I think many of us don't realize that when you get to our mid-40s, there's a lot of reflection backwards. Because you're realizing you're halfway, or maybe you are actually heading towards the end in a way.
Yes.
So the question that comes to mind is is this it? Is this it?
I think you're saying it so well, right?
Yes.
In the sense that, I can't remember if it was episode 1, but this whole concept of midlife renewal and what inspired the conversation was me approaching 40. And 40 is not what I consider midlife, but I think it is a great time to reevaluate. And that concept of, is this it? Yes, it happens in the workplace where you're like, is this going to be my life of just cashing in 2 weeks leave and then just waking up every day? But in a marriage, in a long-term relationship where you're like, are we still going to be fighting about not changing is this it? No more excitement.
Because also at that time, it's also probably the area, the time where you are at your most independent as an individual. So then basically you start asking yourself, am I really doing what I'm supposed to be doing for myself with my power, with my freedom, with my independence? And if you're looking around and you see, realizing this marriage, I've been dealing with the same thing for the last 10, 15 years. It doesn't seem to be changing. Then you have to then make a decision as to, do I want to continue living like this for the rest of my life, regardless of how long I have been with a person? In the same way, you'll do the same thing with your career. You'll do the same thing also with your life in general, to say, is this really it? And I think one of the greatest challenges when it comes to relationships is that's when then a lot of dreams that you had growing up, they start to emerge with that question. You start to ask yourself, am I living the life with the person, the life that I wanted in romance? Am I with the right person? And maybe at that time also you've got your career and it's where it needs to be. You've got the money, you've got the house, you've got the kids, you've got all of these basics. Now you're starting to ask yourself a deeper question about, what is the meaning? What is it? Why am I here in the world? Am I just here to just accompany this person and raise these kids and that's it? Or is there an element of pleasure? Is there an element of enjoyment? Is there an element of excitement and fun?
Yeah.
That comes with this whole situation. And then the question becomes, then what is fun for you? What is pleasure for you? What is it that makes you feel loved as a person?
And I don't want to exclude those that are at midlife renewal stage where they're reinventing love because they have been single, or they have lost a loved one, or they are divorced, and now they feel ready to step out. But the one thing that's standing out to me is when we say, is this it? It almost feels like there is something missing.
Yes.
Is that a positive starting point, or is that a not so positive? Because many people say, once you feel like there's lack, you must look around and just be grateful. Where I'm sometimes like, No,
it's going to catch you. Whatever's missing will catch you. You know, I call it unresolved. Sometimes there are unresolved issues about your life, about romance, about what it means to be married. If you've always wanted to have somebody that attends to a certain way because that's how you feel loved, and that has never been part of it. Let's say that you want somebody that gives you a cup of coffee in the morning.
Yes.
And all your life of marriage, that has never happened.
Ish.
That thing means something. It's more than just about a cup of coffee, but to you it means something about being a special person and somebody doing something for you.
Or somebody thought of me in the morning when they got up.
Exactly. That somebody considers you, because then it says this person is willing to do this for me and I belong with them. I am their person. And if those simple things like that, somebody will say, well, just open the door for me. It's not about the opening of the door, but it is about what this gesture means to that person. And if I've been begging you to open the door for me, and I'm asking myself, okay, now there's no opening the door, now we haven't gone for holiday, and you haven't made coffee for me, and all of these things are adding and adding. Those things are the things that are missing. It's not just because it doesn't mean that I'm ungrateful. It just basically means that there is something more that can make my life richer according to how I want to be loved. And if how I want to be loved is not being satisfied, it's very difficult for me then to be at peace and content with the relationship that I have.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, I want to question the part about how much has to do with realizing that you settled, and how much has to do with actually needing to shake things up in your relationship or in your dating life. We're going to take a break. When we come back, your questions, 072-702-1702, or give us a call, 011-883-0702.
702 delivers
on the matters that matter to you.
This is Businkosi from Alberton. 702 is a very informative station for me. It sets trends. I pick up a lot, in terms of lifestyle. Saturdays mornings are very good to me. The morning drives to work, morning drives back from work, the midday, the reports, and above all, whatever I miss out on, I can catch up on the podcast.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts,
so we can deliver more on what matters to you.
702 listens.
Let's walk the talk.
Mzansi, 133 million rand in total guaranteed Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots could change your life. That is right. Play Powerball for a guaranteed 70 million rand and Powerball Plus for a guaranteed 63 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store, online at nationallottery.co.za, on the mobile app, via cell phone banking, or simply dial star 120 star 7529 hash for USSD. Panda Pusha Play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
The Coliseum of Big Wins is yours to dominate in the electrifying Hollywood Bets exclusive Spinner Zonke Tournament of Champions. Go for glory. Make legendary spins for a shot at striking wins. Conquer the reels and you could claim your share of a massive 500,000 Rand in cash. Power your play. Bet 2 Rand or more on selected slots to start your leaderboard rise. Bet now. T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
This is Jade. She'll spend hours comparing almond milk and once made a spreadsheet just for sneakers. But when she found Santam, SA's leading short-term insurer that offers a range of cover options, from vehicle to building and home contents, even she didn't overthink it. The kind of freedom Santam gives you takes some getting used to. Speak to your broker. Santam, this is freedom. Santam is an authorized FSP, a licensed non-life insurer and controlling company for its group companies.
Durban is open for business and investment. From Monday 22 September, global and local thought leaders, business pioneers and changemakers will gather at the 2025 installment of the Resurgence Conference Durban. The Clement Manyatela Show will be there to bring you all the highlights and insights live. This is where the future of Durban will be shaped, where opportunity for growth awaits. The Clement Manyatela Show, live at the 2025 Resurgence Conference Durban, Monday 22 September, from 9 to 12 on 702. 702.
Series edition.
21 minutes after 2 o'clock, and we continue with our series edition as we chat about midlife renewal. This is episode 3, Reinventing Love. And I would advise, if you do have children in the vehicle, the conversation or in the home might become a little bit adult, because we're not just talking marriage renewal, dating, we're also talking intimacy once one gets to midlife. 011-883-0702, the WhatsApp line. 072-702-1702. We're joined by Jabu Zwane, speaker, author, and marriage counselor. Jabu, earlier I asked you a question to say, when a person starts asking, is this it? At what point does one say, hey, maybe I settled for less? Or actually, this is me and this person just lighting a flame under ourselves? Is that the point that you would say, guys, this is where you need to go for marriage counseling? Like, when does a person assess? Because I wonder if a person is having a listen, that they are aware and having a real conversation with themselves, because midlife is also a good time to get single if you should be single. Yeah. It's also a good time to start dating if you have been single for long. It's a good time to maybe go for that marriage counseling you never believed in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, you settle when you see that there's less and less of what satisfies you and what you want in a relationship. You see that there's less effort. There's less time being spent. You find that a lot of your needs are not being attended to. The more you stay in the relationship, the less you get rather than the more you get.
Also, is it not also this idea of a person asking themselves, why am I here? Or why am I doing this?
It's the 5 questions.
Yeah.
Do I matter? To whom do I matter? For what do I matter? Is this how I want to matter, and should I change it? So if I realize that I'm here, I'm mattering only for what I'm providing, for my money or for the fact that I'm holding the home together, but when I ask to matter and to be tended to, then there are arguments or there's unwillingness for that to be met. Then you start asking yourself the question, is this really how I want to matter? Do I only want to matter for being a mother and being a wife in terms of the roles and the duties, or the husband in terms of the roles and the duties? Or do I matter for my own needs, for wanting the nice flowers and knowing what flowers I like, and knowing what makes me feel special and making an effort to make that work. Also
for the gents, I know the woman and flowers thing happens so often, but there's so many men who are like, guys, we are more than just socks. Or can you also just call us, not because you need me to pick up onions on the way home. Can you also call me just to say, babe, I got you tickets, stadium, front row.
Right? If you know, let's take a quick check. If you know that you don't call your person, whether it's a woman or a man, especially if it's a man, to check on them to say, I miss you. If you don't even know what their favorite anything is, favorite food, favorite show, favorite whatever, hobby. There's so many things that you don't know about them, and yet so many of the things that you want are being satisfied. You must understand that more than likely the other person has settled and they are at this particular age, they start to asking themselves questions. And if, God forbid, they start to see a possibility outside of the marriage setting in terms of any kind of attention or even a consideration of a different kind of lifestyle, then your relationship is in trouble.
Can I just ask around the physical intimacy thing? And maybe you can share the perspective or as a man. The assumption from women will be like men are just always begging, nagging for sex, physical intimacy. Stop, touching me at night when you didn't even help with the dishes. You didn't even help with the kids. I'm tired, da. But a man can also say, Luena, sometimes just surprise me. Don't make me beg.
Yeah.
I want you to touch on that. And not just for the couples, even for the ones that are dating, re-exploring their fun, sexy side. You're now divorced. I mean, I've heard so many stories of, people that are it's almost like they're experiencing sexual intimacy for the first time now in their 40s plus, because maybe when they were younger, they were just, it was for love and I was conservative. Now I'm like, how can't it? There's fun.
Look, I think we must get rid of this Hollywood idea of what we see. It happens so spontaneously, and all of a sudden, the feelings up, and then we bang each other against the wall. It doesn't happen that way. Sometimes be intentional and think about your person, like fantasize about them and plan it in your mind. And I would say this to ladies as well, like, try and become a bit more intentional in thinking about intimacy that way as well. Because part of it is that you can get yourself in the mood and get yourself more prepared by thinking about, this is what I would like to do, and also knowing what you like about being intimate as well, and not being so ashamed of it and being shy about it. Especially in the Christian environment where, it's a taboo, or in African world, it's a taboo. There's a point where you have to get that taboo out of your mind and realize that there's no shame in enjoying each other that way and being intentional to think about it and even planning about it way before time.
Like leaving the lights on if maybe you were leaving the lights off. So it doesn't always have to be gymnastics all of a sudden and now you need a hip replacement. It could just be you're always doing it with the lights off. Let's try with the lights on.
Yeah. Like also, could be today, instead of just let's take a bath to smell nice together. Let's do something with oils, buy oils and make it smell nice. Be intentional in making it a special occasion, not just some monotonous thing that you got to do because it's got to get done. Once you start to involve our minds into intimacy, something different happens to our bodies. Our bodies respond a lot more because of that anticipation, more than just, let's just get it done and that's it.
Can I touch on another form of intimacy quickly before we have to wrap up?
Yeah.
Is because life is just so overwhelmingly busy right now, you find that a lot of marriages and couples are in the routine of day-to-day life. That, yes, your husband's favorite team or whatever, but you might have even lost touch with what they're listening to at the moment. Like, share your playlist. Like, that other intimacy of just being friends again. Can you just touch on that? Or even as David Gao said to me, is like, I am, they're approaching, 18 years of marriage? And he said the advice they got is, you need to keep dating. Jolang.
No, you must definitely have fun. The playlist thing, my wife and I, we love to listen to the music from back in our days. And enjoy it.
Motown when?
From your Boys to Men I'm from that era, dude.
Yes.
Come on.
We belong together.
That's it. And then singing the songs, and then the kids are looking at us like, what's wrong with you people? That's not even nice. And just being into each other in that way, like, don't lose that fun element of friendship, because that is actually where your intimacy starts, where you are naked as far as emotions and psychologically are naked with each other. It becomes then easier for you to become naked physically. And if you are always covered up in the public spaces, then when you go into the bedroom, it becomes such a, too restricted, because you're not even free in your heart and in your mind. So yeah, let's have fun. The companionship is a crucial part of getting a vibrant, intimate, and fun life. in a marriage. or
Last
in a relationship.
question. What's the best way to retain vulnerability in your relationship? I mean, you touched on the nakedness, which I also read as vulnerability. And I quickly want to read this before you answer, saying, Relebogile, this just hit home. Can I remain anonymous? I also am asking myself, do I matter? Because I've held this home together for 24 years. With 2 boys grown, I thought this will be our time to experience life. Instead, he has subscribed to a traditional church, and there's so many things I had to change. I have to stop wearing trousers. No sex on a Friday after 6 p.m. and Saturday until 6 p.m. What I have mentioned is just a short list, but out my foot down when he insisted I join the church. I put my foot down. I'm not happy, but the reason is not good enough for me to leave. That's a tough one.
It's a tough one. And I would say, when that happens, it's important to have the conversation and hopefully even having a mediator, a counselor, a therapist to come and help you guys to sort those things out. Because sometimes it's you're too involved in a situation that you cannot be objective, and you actually don't listen to each other anymore. It's supposed to really hearing and listening to each other. You're feeling based on the history. You're feeling the words. You're feeling the attitude, and you're responding to what you think the other person is thinking, rather than even hearing what their cry is. I think it is so important, and that's in terms of vulnerability as well. The same thing. And vulnerability is about understanding that you want the person to be your confidant. Like, am I safe with you? And are you safe with me? If I told you my most scariest thoughts or concerning thoughts or biggest struggles, can I tell you that without having to worry about criticism or judgment or being demeaned, or all of a sudden, the way you look at me changes?
Or you use it against the person
Weaponizing.
later. We have to leave it there because we're going to the news. Jabu, thank you so much for your time. Where do we follow you on the socials?
At jabuzwani.co.za.
There we go. It's just after 2:30, time for your latest Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon.
Thanks, Relebogile. Good afternoon. We begin in the Western Cape, where another person believed to be a taxi boss has been shot and killed in Cape Town today as gun violence continues to grip the industry. A 61-year-old man was killed by unknown gunmen in Dlepu Street in Brown's Farm. Several taxi operators and commuters have been killed or injured in violence linked to taxi routes in the Mfuleni, Khayelitsha and Somerset West areas recently. We move to the courts, where the Mthatha High Court has learned that there were plans for another mass murder just hours after the Lusikisiki massacre in the Eastern Cape late last year. This was revealed by a key state witness in the mass murder trial, Luando Abi. Abi was one of the 8 suspects arrested in connection with the massacre of 18 relatives in Ngobozana village in Lusikisiki, but has since turned state witness along with another accused in the matter. And Action SA says it's preparing to lodge a formal complaint with the public protector against the National Treasury for what it has labelled a shocking failure of consequence management in the fight against corruption. The move follows a presidency briefing to Parliament. Those are the headlines. This Eyewitness News and more at 3 o'clock or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this stage, if you are traveling through Bedfordview heading towards Germiston, bumper-to-bumper traffic, that's on the N3 southbound between Linksfield Road and Van Buren due to ongoing roadworks. This, as a result, there's also heavy delays coming from Edenville heading into Bedfordview, R24 westbound between Edenville Road and the Gilulis interchange. Otherwise, the rest of 702 land not looking too bad. No major delays have been reported on our highways. There's no accidents that you have to be mindful on at this stage. Just look out for those faulty traffic lights in the Bryanston area, Winnie Mandela Drive and Sloan. Faulty traffic lights as well in the Alex area at Marlborough Drive and Far East Bank. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
On the 20th and 21st of September, the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, brings you the flavor, the music, and the vibe with international stars, South Africa's top performers, delicious food from local artisans, and fashion that turns heads. It's the ultimate heritage weekend experience. Gather your friends on Saturday and make it a family picnic day on Sunday. Join interactive cooking demos, explore vibrant art, and celebrate 30 years of DSTV bringing entertainment to Africa. One ticket gives you access to it all. Visit ticketmaster.co.za with more on deliciousfestival.com.
Tata Curve, take me there. Where the flush door handles welcome you with a soft light. Where the panoramic sunroof is proof that the sky's the limit. To the 18-inch alloy wheels that carry memories into the future. Whatever there is, wherever there is, let the all-new Tata Curve take you there. From only 349,900. T's and C's apply. Ta-ta-ta-ta.
This is your business. This is your business supercharged with the help of zero accounting software. These are your numbers. These are your numbers sorted with the help of zero accounting software. This is you.
Hi.
This is you taking business where you want with the help of zero accounting software. This is your business supercharged with the help of Zero and having your numbers sorted all at the same time so you can finally focus on taking business where you want to. Supercharge your business today with the help of Zero.
Search Zero with an X.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
The Parkstau issue, of course, he and the department scrapping the proposed credit reforms that were envisioned to help small businesses gain business credit on the market.
When it comes to SMEs, there is no such centralized repository of information that can be used by credit providers to assess the credit worthiness of a business.
Khulekani Mathe, the CEO designate of Business Unity South Africa.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show is brought to you by ABSA CIB, proud host of the Macro and Risk Management Conference 2025. ABSA is a registered FSP. Your story matters.
Coming up
on 702 Drive with John Perlman.
702 Drive is coming up from 3 to 6 p.m. with John Perlman. John, happy Tuesday. How are you doing?
Doing well, thanks. And you, happy Tuesday to you. Good afternoon to the listeners.
I am doing well, and I wanted to know your thoughts. Earlier we were talking about drastic physical changes to your appearance that you make without necessarily telling your spouse. I was thinking haircuts and like weight loss, and then people brought in gold teeth, removing front teeth.
Okay.
And,
you noticed I kind of smiled just
I saw.
to make clear, no changes there.
Tattoos.
Nope.
And then the other one is there's this, it's not a piercing, but it's where you cut your tongue that it becomes like a snake's tongue. Do you have any physical deal breakers that if your partner suddenly said, I'm going to get tattoos on my face, you'd be like, I'm going to have to rethink this arrangement?
Yeah, I think tattoo on the face, snake's tongue, I think we're in fairly tricky territory there. But very unlikely to arise in my marriage at this minute.
Gold teeth and removing healthy front teeth.
Yeah, probably deal breakers. Again, unlikely. I have a simple life in that particular regard.
Some of the things people brought up was like the man who calls in to say the wife says the pot belly needs to remain at a very specific size. So he can't get a six-pack, but it also can't get too big. So now she said he must consider gym, which means
so
the
no
pot belly.
Six-pack, but no keg either. Keep it at a quart or whatever.
Yes, exactly. All right, what's coming up on your show today?
People have tricky lives, eh?
Right.
So in the world of, perhaps more simple things, but probably more complicated in other ways, a couple of things that we're covering today. There's a constitutional court issue being handled at the moment about Shell wanting to look for oil off the Wild Coast. We'll cover that story with Khumotso Modise. We will be looking at a decision made by Treasury that certain tax exemptions for private schools are going to be withdrawn. Private schools, of course, are pushing back on that. We'll look a little bit more closely at that. There's lots of breaking news all over the place. Plus today's World Barber Day. Is that a boom industry in South Africa? I mean, obviously people's hair is still growing, but, people going to barbers or they're going to other kinds of places to get their haircuts. We'll talk to the barbers after 5.
I can't wait to hear that one because I heard it's a big deal.
Yes.
Like apparently a man would rather cheat on his girlfriend than cheat on his barber.
I don't know where this study was done, but it sounds like a generalization.
I look forward to hearing the loyalty
between
between men and their barbers is very serious. 702 Drive with John Pullman coming up from 3 to 6 p.m.
702.
The car feature.
Car feature for today, 20 minutes to 2 o'clock. We're talking about essential car basics course, and we're joined in studio by Paige Lindenberg, who's championship-winning racing driver, key figure in South Africa's automotive industry, as well as Peter Lindenberg, who is a South African motorsport legend. Welcome to the show. I feel like we've spoken before on the phone, but now I have you for the first time physically in studio. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for coming through. Truly, truly an honor. And I'm excited to find out about this course, because the moment somebody hears you are a motorsport legend or a championship winning racing driver, we don't want to do the essential course. We want to do the course you guys did.
It only takes about 48 years.
48. Listen, if we start today, you're going to make some progress towards
Unfortunately, I won't be there for your graduation.
I'm going to start with you, Peter. What made you decide to get into the space?
So from when I was a little kid, literally a little kid pushing little cars around on the floor in our family home, I always wanted to be a racing driver. That was my thing. I can't tell you why, but that's what I wanted to do.
And how blessed that you knew that so early in life, because we all know people who it's taken them decades to find the thing that they love.
Oh, look, I was lucky, but it didn't happen quickly. Even though I wanted to do it, my late dad had very little interest. He thought I was crazy. But
as parents do, there's always that new generation that is like scaring us now, But you are now the parent who was like, well, I've done this, so...
Yeah, I mean, I'm fully supportive of what Paige has done, is doing, and will do. I mean, she's just a really good, talented driver, simple as that, and she knows the game.
Paige, what made you decide to, launch this car basics course? And maybe clarify, because the lay person, when they think about a course, some people are thinking K53.
No, not at all. So basically we grew up in a man's world around cars and powerboats and all, crazy things because of my dad and his career. So we grew up knowing how to change a tire and how to check oil and water and pump tires and all those wonderful things. And my dad and I, we all worked together, and we were speaking a few years ago, and I just said to him, I feel like so many people don't have these general skills, especially women. And I feel like I'm in such a privileged position because I'm so independent when it comes to a car that if something happens, I know how to check my oil and water.
You actually push the man out the way and say, back up. I got this.
The reality is most men don't know how to do half the stuff, but their egos don't allow them to admit it, right? And I just say to my dad, like, I want to empower women to know more and be more independent.
The only reason I'm laughing is because there are some cars that you see a person opening the bonnet, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like the old school cars where you can see there's steam coming from. It's just this fancy thing. You see them and you're like, why is the bonnet open? Because
you can't do much.
There's not even much. They don't even know where to begin because the car's like more digital than anything else.
Exactly. Yeah, like the modern cars, you can't just like pop the bonnet open and check the oil. There's no dipstick in a lot of the modern cars. Like, it's difficult. It's all computerized. So it's a challenge. And I just felt that women are at a disadvantage if they got stuck with a flat tire and they had no idea what to do and there was no one around to help them. Where do they go from there? And we've got amazing partners in the industry that we've worked with for many, many years. And we have them at our fingertips to help educate people. So we decided, it was my project and my idea, and with my dad's support and advice, I got it going, and Tiger Wheel and Tire supported me on launching the project. And a few of our partners are heavily involved when it comes to the different avenues of a car, because you got your battery. So how do you jumpstart a car, or how do you change a battery, all those wonderful things. So we've got Sabat with that. We've got Castrol on the oil, PG glass. Like, your windscreen is one of the most important structures of your vehicle, and you don't even know that. So people drive with, chips in their windscreen for weeks on end. and it can literally change the structure of your vehicle. So we work with PG Glass, and it's all about educating people on how to know what's happening with your car. And every car is different, like you say. So we help people learn their vehicle at the course. So it's literally an hour and a half, 2 hours. You're not going to become a mechanic. You're not going to become a racing driver. But it's literally just the very basics on if you're ever in a situation that you're stuck and you need help, you can help yourself. And if you see someone else who's stuck, you can get out your car and help them. And it's not just aimed at women. It's now, our focus now is going into schools. So teaching young people, because they get their licenses in grade 11 matric, they get a car, have no idea what to do with it. And it's also become quite popular with corporates doing team building, because a lot of adults don't actually even know where their spare tire is. I mean, when last did you pump your spare tire?
So usually it happens when there's a situation.
Exactly.
You don't just regularly have that alarm that goes off every 3 months to check your spare tire. And I'm curious, in terms of what are the biggest misconceptions that we have about cars, especially now that, cars have evolved so much. I will never forget when I was driving a City Golf coming out of work late at night. So back then it was, 4 gears. It was a 1.3. Get in the car. And I'm like, I don't have fluffy pink dice in my car, and got out because I was panicked that somebody thought I'm trying to steal their car. My car was 2 cars away. But back then, those keys could just open any City Golf.
And there's a lot of guys out there today who can still just open any car. They make a living out of that.
Right? Like, I was shocked that that key could just open.
Maybe you just missed your vocation. We were talking about people who are young and know what they want to do. You missed out on the job.
I missed my opportunity. But I just remember thinking to myself, is this like a fluke? And the way now cars have evolved, where we don't even know how, like, unless something breaks, firstly, how expensive or how important certain things like these modern keys. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to find out really about some of the misconceptions around the basics of cars, but also what are the things that were in old cars that you would still vouch for a person knowing, even if they're driving new cars. Your calls and your questions, 072 702 702 and 011 883 0702.
Every day I'm hustling. It's our reality as business owners. And it's good to know that there's someone out there who takes care of the business that makes the business. Gotta love My Way Business Insurance. Saving big on premiums with 24/7 emergency services, plus My Business Assist with marketing, legal, and labor advice services.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
The South African Future Trust Summit's Premium Entrepreneurial Showcase returns to the Sandton Convention Centre on the 5th and 6th of November, bringing together entrepreneurs with bold ideas and big ambition. Come and witness the big pitch, where our 10 finalists will compete for the coveted $1 million business investment. Join masterclasses with industry experts who will share valuable knowledge on relevant topics and seize the opportunity to pitch your business ideas to leading investors. Don't miss out. Limited seats are available. Book yours now at summit.southafricanfuturetrust.org in partnership with 702.
Backed by popular demand, legendary jazz icon Kenny G will be performing at the Super Bowl at Sun City on Friday, the 3rd of October. Get ready for an unforgettable night of timeless hits and pure musical magic. Get your tickets from webtickets.co.za. Brought to you by Breakout Events and 702.
702 and Corporates That Care with Netcare are talking about Netcare's My Walk Made with Soul initiative.
This was an initiative that began in 2015, and a lady by the name of Delani Bezadenhout visited us and said, look, I hear Netcare is very involved in sustainability initiatives. Would you be interested in recycling your intravenous drip bags because they're made of a toxic material called PVC? And in passing, she said to me, possibly we could also make shoes. My appeal is that we've handed out 328,000 pairs of shoes. And so my appeal is for South Africans to get get together and come onto our website, mywalk.org.za, and donate the cost of a cappuccino. Maybe you can donate 10 shoes.
Netcare, helping future leaders step into greatness. Visit mywalk.org.za to learn more. 702. Let's walk the talk. 702.
The car feature.
11 minutes to 3 o'clock. We continue with our car feature for today, talking essential car basics course together with Paige Lindenberg, who's a championship winning racing driver and, of course, quite a key person in South Africa's automotive industry, together with Peter Lindenberg, a South African motorsport legend. 011 883 0702, the WhatsApp line 072 702 702. So what are some of the basics you think, even though cars have evolved quite a bit, that you think people should still just have that basic skill?
I mean, I think the most important basic skill for me is when it comes to your car's tires, because that's literally the only point of contact your car has with the road. And I think you got to know what you're buying and know that it's a reputable brand and know that you're looking after your life, because we've done some tests and it's on YouTube with Tiger Wheel and Tire, and it's worth having a look at, where you can literally see the difference in braking with a reputable brand and a no-name brand tire, and it's life and death. It's a 10-15 meter difference in braking, safety wise. So tires are really important, and fuel and oil, the stuff that you put into your car to help your engine run, to make sure it's clean and not contaminated, and the right reputable brands, I think is really important. We work very closely with BP Fuels, and we do a lot of work with them, and they educate people so well when it comes to those things. I'm very guilty of leaving my car till empty, like my light's always on, because
are you those people who are like, I know my car?
No, but I feel like I hate going and paying for fuel, because I'm like, where does it go? I feel like I'm paying and I don't see where it's going.
You know what the trick is? I've heard that there are women whose husbands or boyfriends always fill up their cars, so they're just like, what do you mean petrol? What do you mean fuel? Because it's just always
they do
there.
it for you. My husband always gets in my car and he's like, oh, it's empty, and he always fills it for me. I've gotten better because I know how bad it is for my car to not run. It needs to stay full, because it is really bad for the car to run on empty. It's not
really.
It's not good for the engine at all.
Well, what happens if the lower the level is in your fuel tank, the better the chances of condensation in the tank. And so in older cars, that's why older cars, tanks rust. That's why fuel pumps fail. It's all to do with that. So if you, as a rule of thumb, if you keep a car always above half a tank, highly unlikely you're going to have drama.
I thought it was quarter. I tried to do quarter.
Well, quarter's still okay, but the trouble is most women go till the light comes on, and then it says you only got 80 k's to go.
And the other side of it is like, if you're in an emergency, something God forbid happens, and you have to rush somewhere, and you got no fuel in your car, what do you do? Because you don't have time to stop and fill it up. So I've been much better about it. I don't let my light come on anymore. I've been much better. But you know what the problem is with these kinds of things is that all of these things that we go through and teach you in car basics, unfortunately, they're all grudge purchases, because you don't want to go and spend thousands on a set of tires, and you don't want to go spend thousands on a service and oil. But unfortunately, these are the things we have to do in order to keep our cars in check, to avoid issues and being stuck on the side of the road.
Okay, please help me understand, Paige. What does this car basics course just cover? Like you said,
literally the basics. So it's
you're not going to be a mechanic, guys. No. You're not going to be a professional race car driver. Don't DM Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, no. So it's literally just your tires, how to change them, check your tread, your spare tire, make sure you have all the right spares in your vehicle, because that's also really important. If you get stuck on the side of the road and you don't have any spares, you can't change your tire or your wheels. So that's really important. And then we focus on batteries, how to check your battery, how to keep your battery full and charged, because there's also a misconception. You spoke about misconceptions. There's a misconception about someone starting your car when you're on holiday for you just to quickly run it. That's not good for the battery, because the car doesn't actually drive, so the alternator doesn't charge the battery. So just by having these quick starts in your garage can actually drain your battery more than just not touching the car. So we go through a lot of these misconceptions. Also, like documents when it comes to cars, there's so many important documents and licensing rules you should know about. Vehicles being towed away in an accident by people who take you for big money is a big issue. So we touch on all these little safety aspects and just tips on how to be more aware of your vehicle, the things around your vehicle, how to help yourself, check your oil and water, windscreens, make sure you have fluid in your windscreen wipers, make sure your blades are new and safe, because if you're in a storm, how do you see where you're going? You know, it's lots of little things that are really important to take note of.
Peter, what would you say is one of the downsides of the modern cars that, you know, are becoming so digital, technological? And I would imagine you have downsides because you've been doing this for so long, and I'm sure you can appreciate a lot of things that are, I would say in inverted commas, manual and not as automated.
So the rate of progress in technology in motor cars is incredible, and it's basically very good. It's positive stuff. The negative of it is that the day of that workshop on the corner, or that friend of mine who's a mechanic can help me, they are disappearing real fast, because you need to have the technology at your fingertips to diagnose the problem on a car. It's no longer, I think it's that and I'll fix it. No. Now you got to plug in the diagnostics, read the codes, etc., etc. And so the game's changed a lot, and it's still changing even further now with hybrid vehicles, electric vehicles. It's a fluid situation, and if you said to me, do I think it's good or it's bad? I think it's fantastic for the average person, because the average person doesn't want to be a specialist on a motor car.
Yes.
It's transport. It gets me from A to B, or that's how I earn my money, working, driving from here to there, whatever. But it's definitely changed the view of the enthusiast. The enthusiast looks more towards the older car. Why?
Yes.
Because they can get stuck in and get their hands dirty, and in most cases they can sort the problem out.
Paige, how can people get in touch, and how much does the course cost?
Course is 195 Rand. There's
What?
Yeah.
So cheap?
Yeah, so it's a passion project for me. It's really just to help educate people and help them become more independent. So we have Instagram, Car Basics SA. There's a course coming up now in Pretoria in October with Tiger Wheel and Tire. And then also my Instagram page, Lindenberg. They're welcome to contact me on there. But I can also send you all the details for them to get in touch.
And what I love about what your course offers is, outside of upskilling you, giving you that confidence, is it is quite empowering.
Yeah, 100%. That's the aim of it. It was never to make money. We're here to help people, and I'm all for women independence. The guys, as I said, need the course too. So if some of them are willing to put the egos aside and join us, we'd love to have them. But yeah, I've grown up as a very independent woman, thanks to my parents. They've never ever stopped us from doing anything, and they've always told us, that we could do anything, and they believed in us. Not everyone has that, so I really hope that we can help other women feel independent when it comes to their vehicle, because it can feel daunting, and it's not. It's quite simple if you just learn these basic things.
Are you still racing?
I am. We have a race this weekend.
Yes.
We're leading 2 championships. Well, I'm leading 2 championships, but our team's leading, I think, 4. So this is the final round for the year of this championship. So we're going to Swartkops on Saturday for a nice big race to end off the season.
Dad, how proud are you?
Very. I'm a very fortunate person, because I stopped racing 5 years ago when I was 65, and I'd won the championship that year. And I'm in the very fortunate position where I'm involved every day in our racing team, because Paige is there, James, son-in-law, married to the other daughter. He races in our team. My business partner races in our team. So I'm involved in racing every day of my life, which is what a way to spend the rest of your days.
Look at that. I absolutely love it for the both of you. Well done, and I hope the course is extremely successful and reaches as many people as possible.
If you want to know about the heart and art of jazz, look no further than the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz Festival, a grand ensemble of over 50 world-class acts across 4 stages for 3 whole days. That's right, from the 26th, 27th and 28th of September. The Sandton Convention Centre will be demure and sophisticated as the fine Standard Bank Joy of Jazz 2025 takes you deep into the heart, the art and splendour of jazz. Take me there. Book your seat via Ticketmaster now.
Sell your car now and get paid instantly. There's no waiting when it comes to We Buy Cars. Simply complete the online form on webuycars.co.za to get started. Looking for your next ride? Explore thousands of vehicles with finance and all the extras available online and in-store. Whether buying or selling, We Buy Cars has what you need.
Every day, South Africans are being squeezed to make ends meet. That's why there's Still Good, a new online platform where you can save up to 65% on groceries by buying Still Good value bags. Packed with groceries by leading retailers that are still perfectly good, just close to their sell-by date. You win by saving, retailers win by cutting food waste, and communities win as Still Good donates 10% of their earnings to food charities. Visit stillgood.co.za. Start getting more bang for your buck with Still Good.
Thank you for joining us. We are back tomorrow. It's 3 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Another taxi-related shooting in Cape Town claims a life, and Lungu family dealt another blow in court. Good afternoon, I'm Mikey Malapo. We begin in the Western Cape, where a 61-year-old man believed to be a taxi boss has been shot and killed by unknown gunmen at Brown's Farm in Cape Town today. This as gun violence continues to grip the industry, leading to the deaths and injuries of several taxi operators and commuters linked to taxi routes in the Mfuleni, Khayelitsha and Somerset West areas recently. As a result, several taxi routes on these corridors will be closed for 30 days from tomorrow, some due to the ongoing violence. The province's mobility MEC Isaac Silegui is set to meet with both Kata and Codeta taxi associations today to try and end their deadly conflict. Police spokesperson Joseph Swartboy says detectives are still at the crime scene combing for clues.
Information at our disposal suggests that unknown gunmen opened fire at the deceased and fled the scene. The victim was declared deceased on the scene by the medical personnel. The motive for this attack is believed to be taxi-related. Nyanga police registered a murder for further investigation.
We move to the courts, where the Mthatha High Court has learned that there were plans for another mass murder just hours after the Lusikisiki massacre in the Eastern Cape late last year. This was revealed by a key state witness in the mass murder trial, Lwando Abi. Abi was one of the 8 suspects arrested in connection with the massacre of 18 relatives in Ngobozana village in Lusikisiki, but has since turned state witness along with another accused in the matter. Accused number 1, Mzuki Sindamase, has been cross-examining Abi today in the Mthatha High Court in Lusikisiki. Nhlanhla Mabaso has more.
The key state witness in the Lusikisiki massacre trial has dropped another bombshell during proceedings today. Lwando Abi has told the court that hours after the Lusikisiki massacre, the group of gunmen he transported to carry out the hit intended to murder a group of boys in Gubeni village. The instructions allegedly came from accused number 1, Mzuki Sindamase. Abi told the court that the group worked for Ndamase but turned their backs on him when he was jailed. However, the witness says he spoke to Ndamase on the phone on the morning the gruesome killings took place and urged him to delay the second hit. Ndamase has denied giving instructions for any killing. The matter has been adjourned to tomorrow. Nhlanhla Mabaso, Eyewitness News, Lusikisiki in the Eastern Cape.
Staying in the courts, the Pretoria High Court has ruled that no compelling reasons exist for the family of Zambian former President Edgar Lungu to be granted leave to appeal. The court dismissed their application, ruling that there are no reasonable prospects of success in the Supreme Court. The family wants to approach the appeals court to challenge a High Court ruling that says Lungu's remains must be buried in his hometown of Lusaka. It's been more than 3 months since Lungu died in Johannesburg, and his family has been involved in a legal tussle with the Zambian government over where he should be laid to rest. Khomotso Modise has more.
In their application for leave to appeal, lawyers for the family of Edgar Lungu argued that the Pretoria High Court erred in applying Zambian law on where he should be buried because he died in South Africa. But the court insists that Lungu was on a temporary visit to South Africa for medical reasons. According to Zambian law, when a person of significant national interest dies, the wishes of that person and the family must yield to the broader public interest. The court has rejected the argument that Lungu had been stripped of his presidential benefits, rendering him an ordinary citizen. Instead, Deputy Judge President Aubrey Ledwaba has agreed with the Zambian government that Lungu was still a former head of state.